Hi, this is Rich Miller with the Office of Education Licensure and Effectiveness, and I'm making a short video today to share with you the new courses module that we've enhanced in the Keprs environment. And Keprs is the Kentucky Educator and Prep Review System. So after you log in, you would normally select the Keprs module. Nothing has changed here, but you will notice when you go to the courses module that we've broadened out all of the screens. We've made the full use of all of the area, and so it's a little bit easier to see all of the information without all those wraparound fields. So what we've done is we've split off some of the functions to make it a little bit easier to work with. So we have new tabs at the top. The first tab is just to add a new course, and that's all it does. You key in a new course. It's basically for data entry. The second tab is to view and edit your courses. The third tab is where you link your courses to the programs. The fourth tab is to align courses to standards, and basically this is just the data entry portion. So you're actually doing the alignment. And then the last tab is to view and or delete your course standards. So let me go through each one of these so I can show you some of the changes that we have made. And basically the data entry is exactly the same. So you key in your prefix and the course number, course title. Oops, didn't like that. Then you select your syllabus, and this is optional. You don't have to attach a syllabus at this point, but you can if you have one. So I'm going to go ahead and attach one. That's just a PDF or a Word document. You key in your course description, and then your minimum number of hours, maximum number of hours, your field hours, and clinical field days if they're applicable. Then we come down to the restricted course. I'm going to say on this one, yes, it's restricted. No, we don't address CAPE diversity. And no, we don't address CAPE technology. Now, when I say save course, you'll get a confirmation, a little green bar across the top saying success, course inserted successfully. So you will know there's a confirmation at the end of your save to tell you that particular course that you've created has been saved. You can, if you wanted to validate it, go to the next tab to view and edit your courses. Now, it used to be this screen would take quite a while to fill up because we gave you the full grid of all your courses. So we've suppressed that. We give you a blank screen until you tell us specifically which courses you want to look at. So for example, you can say view all courses, or you can select a prefix. So let me go in and give you an example. I'll select a prefix of AAA. And there's only a few of them out there. There's only a handful. So here are the ones that I've been keying in recently as test data. I can, and by the way, in this drop down, it will only show you your current active courses. So let me select another prefix, 111. I think there's only a couple of them there. And let me pick another one. Let me go to this 456, 456. But you can see this is much, much quicker than what we used to be able to see with the full display. However, if we pick a course prefix that has quite a few courses, it does take a little while to fill in this grid. And the reason for that is these course syllabus, if you've attached a lot of syllabi, these can be, these can be a half a meg or a meg, depending on how you created your syllabi. And so that whole thing gets pulled into this grid view because if you wanted to view them, you want to click on it and you'll have it. So in this case, the ED80 prefix gave us 23 items. Now, you can still work with this grid just like you did before. You can sort by a field. You can grab and group different information. So you would drag a course up to the next column and it would group that information. Now, in this case, the course title isn't going to really show us much of a group, but there are other examples where you may want to group maybe by a category or by a course or by a program code to see everything associated with it. And I'll give you another example of that one here when we get into like the aligned courses. So this view, we think performs better. It gives you more flexibility. It gives you a broader screen. Things are easier to see. And again, we've got the export to Excel at any time from the grid, and it will export what you see. So if you have sorted or grouped this information, that's what will be exported into Excel. Okay, makes sense? All right, let me go back to the view all courses. And this is going to take a while because there are a lot of courses in here. View edit courses. Well, I hadn't finished unsorting from before. Okay, view all courses. So I believe the Bellarmine sample data has about 180 courses, most of which had course syllabi attached to it. So this could take, 30, 40 seconds, and it used to be 4 or 5 minutes in some cases. And that's part of what we're trying to fix, is the performance of bringing this grid back up for you to work with and preview. So I'm hoping this comes up here pretty quick. I am actually working through a Wi-Fi connection. So if you have a slow Wi-Fi, this could take a while, but we're thinking here it should take about between 30 seconds to a minute. There we go. That wasn't too bad. That was probably longer than 30 seconds. But as you can see, what I have here in this grid, I have 186 items. One of the other things we did was to lengthen this grid view for the number of records. It used to be like 10 or 20 records, and then you had to page through all of this. So we've expanded all of the views to take the first 100 records. So it gives you a much longer view. You can scroll through it much quicker this way and work with each of the line items a little bit faster this way. So that's add a course, view courses. Let me go to link courses to programs. And this one basically operates exactly the same way that it did before. And this particular view, in Bellarmine's case, there's a lot of data out here that's got over 8,700 items. And this is where the courses are linked to the program codes. We did move the courses field to the top, since that is the key field of information that you need to select. So let's go in here and select like this AAA 456. You can multi-select if you've added 3 or 4 new courses that are going to be part of a curriculum and a series of programs. So let me choose 2 of them. Let me go 456, 567. I've chosen 2 courses that I'm going to align. And let's say I know that these new courses apply to biology, chemistry, and math. So I've picked 3 categories. I don't need to select the type. These are all optional. These are all filters. But now when I go to my codes, I can say select all, and that was everything from biology, chemistry, and math. Okay, so it's now showing all of those codes. And now when I say save course program, it links those 2 new courses to all of those program codes and adds it to the list. So now we've got 87, 84. And it won't add duplicates. So if you already had those in the system, it will not create a duplicate link between your course and your program codes. Okay, let's go to align courses to standards. This is a new screen. We simply split it off to make it a little bit straightforward, a little bit easier to work with. So now you pick your category, and you can only pick 1 category at a time. And that's because whatever category you pick determines the standards group. Okay, so for chemistry, I've got NSTA, and I'm going to pick, I could pick select all. And we tried to add this select all to all of the drop downs. So if you know you're going to address all of the standards, you can say select all. And then in the standards components, and it can be a rather lengthy list, you can say, well, I'm going to select all of them. And the courses that do that are AAA 456 and 567. I'm just using that as an example. I'm done with my selection. I say save course standards, and we're done. Okay. Let me go to the view and delete course standards. And again, this particular list can be extremely long. And again, we're using Bellarmine test data. They got 70,063 items. And that's because you've got so many standards that you need to meet for each one of these course codes. And again, if you wanted to, you can come down here and filter down this particular view by a category or by a standard group. So you've got NSTA, NASM. Let's use NASM as an example of how I want to filter this particular view. So if I come in and say it starts with NASM, it will show me only those standards that relate to the standard group NASM. So instead of looking at 79,000 records or whatever it was, I now have 27 items that I'm working with. It's much easier to take a look at these, filter it down. I can sort by standards title, by component title. If I wanted to see, you know, am I addressing all of the components in the NASM module? Then I go down and say, well, I got component 1 is addressed, 2 is addressed, 3 is addressed, 4, 5, 6. So I've got all of these pretty well addressed for integrated music, just as an example. Okay. Now, if I were going to go in here and you can see here NASM old, that's because the NASM standard changed. And NASM 2016 was the new standard. So if I wanted to, what you had to do before was you had to come in here and go delete, 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 and it was painful to delete each one of these old ones. So if I wanted to isolate just the NASM old, again, let me filter. I can say NASM OLD old, and it will show me only the NASM old standards that I had aligned to in the past. Now I can do, and we've added a new button here, I do a remove all. Now I want to caution you, remove all will remove all those aligned records in the view. So you really need to be careful here and make sure that you've either sorted or filtered down this view. I've got 8 items that I'm going to remove. I do a remove all. We give you a little warning. Are you sure you want to delete all these records? Okay. And they are gone. So we're hoping that these new tabs, add a course, view and edit courses, link your courses to programs, align courses to standards, view, edit, delete courses, makes it a little bit easier to work with all of these courses. And this video is intended to be relatively short, so I'm going to stop here. If you have any questions, please call us at the main office, and we hope this improves the efficiency and working with courses in the Keprs system. Thank you for your time.